set an ambush to shed blood. We will lie hidden, waiting for innocent victims without cause. We will swallow them alive as the grave does, like those going down to the pit. Let us seize all their precious treasures. We will fill our houses with spoil. You should join us, and we will all share equally what we steal. My son, do not follow them. Keep your feet off their path, for their feet run to do evil. They hurry to shed blood. It is surely in vain to spread a net in full sight of a bird. That is why these lie in ambush to shed blood. They lie hidden to take the lives of others. These are the ways of those seeking dishonest profit, which will take away the life of those who obtain it. True wisdom cries aloud in the street. It keeps raising its voice in the public squares at the corner. At the corner of the busy streets it calls out. At the entrances of the city gates it says, how long will you inexperienced one love inexperience? How long will you ridiculers take place in ridicule? And how long will you foolish ones hate knowledge? Respond to my reproof, then I will pour out my spirit for you. I will make my words known to you because I called out, but you kept refusing. I stretched out my hand, but no one was paying attention. You kept neglecting all my advice and rejecting my reproof. I also will laugh when disaster strikes you. I will mock when what you dread comes. When what you dread comes like a storm, and your disaster arrives like a storm wind. When distress and trouble come upon you, at that time they will keep calling me, but I will not answer. They will eagerly look for me, but they will not find me, because they hated knowledge, and they did not choose to fear Jehovah. They refused my advice, they disrespected all my reproof. So they will bear the consequences of their way, and they will be glutted with their own counsel. For the waywardness of the inexperienced will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But the one listening to me will dwell in security, and be undisturbed by the dread of the calamity. My son, if you accept my sayings and treasure up my commandments, by making your ear attentive to wisdom, and inclining your heart to discernment. Moreover, if you call out for understanding, and raise your voice for discernment, if you keep seeking for it as for silver, and you keep searching for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of Jehovah, and you will find the knowledge of God. For Jehovah himself gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and discernment. He treasures up practical wisdom for the upright. He is a shield for those walking in integrity. He watches over the paths of justice, and he will guard the way of his loyal ones. Then you will understand what is righteous and just and fair, the entire course of what is good. When wisdom enters your heart, and knowledge becomes pleasant to your soul, thinking ability will keep watch over you, and discernment will safeguard you, to save you from the bad course, from the man speaking perverse things, from those leaving the upright paths, to walk in the ways of darkness, from those who rejoice in wrongdoing, who find joy in the perverseness of evil, those whose paths are crooked and whose entire course is devious. It will save you from the wayward woman, from the smooth words of the immoral woman, who abandons the close companion of her youth and forgets the companion of her God. For her house sinks down into death, and her paths lead to those powerless in death. None of those having relations with her will return, nor will they regain the pathways of life. So follow the way of good people and stay out of the paths of the right, and stay on the paths of the righteous. For only the upright will righteous will remain in it. As for the wicked, they will be cut off from the earth, and the treacherous will be torn away from it. Number 3. My son, do not forget my teaching, and may your heart observe my commandments, because they will add many days and years of life and peace to you. Do not let loyal love and faithfulness leave you. Tie them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, then you will find favor and good insight in the eyes of God and man. Trust in Jehovah with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways, take notice of him, and he will make your paths straight. Do not become wise in your own eyes. Fear Jehovah and turn away from bad. It will be a healing to your body and refreshment for your bones. Honor Jehovah with your valuable things, with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your storehouses will be completely filled, and your vats will overflow with new wine. My son, do not reject the discipline of Jehovah, and do not loathe his reproof. For those whom Jehovah loves, he reproves, just as a father does a son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who acquires discernment. To gain it is better than gaining silver, and having it as a profit is better than having gold. It is more precious than corals. Nothing you desire can compare to it. Long life is in its right hand, riches and glory are in its left hand. Its ways are pleasant, and all its paths are peaceful. It is a tree of life to those who take hold of it, and those who keep firm hold of it will be called happy. Jehovah founded the earth in wisdom. He solidly established the heavens in discernment. By his knowledge the watery deeps were split apart, and the cloudy skies dripped with dew. My son, do not lose sight of them. Safeguard practical wisdom and thinking ability. They will give you life and be an adornment for your neck. They will walk on your way in safety, and your foot will never stumble. When you lie down, you will have no fear. You will lie down, and your sleep will be pleasant. You will not fear any sudden terror, nor the storm that is coming on the wicked. For Jehovah will prove to be your source of confidence. He will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those whom you should give it, if it is within your power to help. Do not say to your neighbor, go away, come back later. I will give it to you tomorrow. If you can give it now, do not plot harm against your neighbor. When he lives in a sense of security with you, do not quarrel with a man for no reason, if he has done nothing bad to you. Do not envy the violent man, nor choose any of his ways, for Jehovah detests a devious person, but his close friendship is with the upright. The curse of Jehovah is on the house of the wicked one, but he blesses the home of the righteous. For he mocks those who ridicule, but he shows favor to the meek. The wise will inherit honor, but the stupid ones glorify dishonor. Now, chapter 4. Listen, my sons, to the discipline of your father. Pay attention in order to gain the understanding. For I will give you good instruction. Do not forsake my teaching. I was a true son to my father, and the one specially loved by my mother. He taught me and said, may your heart hold fast to my words. Keep my commandments and continue living. Acquire wisdom, acquire understanding. Do not forget and do not turn aside from what I say. Do not forsake it, and I will protect you. Love it, and it will safeguard you. Wisdom is the most important thing, so acquire wisdom. And with all you acquire understanding. Highly esteem it, and it will exalt you. It will honor you because you embrace it. It will attractive wreath on your head. It will adorn you with a crown of beauty. Listen, my son, and accept my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I instruct you in the way of wisdom. I will lead you in the tracks of uprightness. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and if you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to discipline. Do not let it go. Safeguard it, for it means your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil men. Shun it. Do not take it. Turn away from it and pass it by. For they cannot sleep unless they do what is bad. They are robbed of sleep unless they cause someone's downfall. They feed themselves with the bread of wickedness, and they drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the bright morning light that grows brighter and brighter until full daylight. The way of the wicked is like the darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. My son, pay attention to my words. Listen carefully to my sayings. Do not lose sight of them. Keep them deep within your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to their whole body. Above all the things that you guard, safeguard your heart, for out of it are the sources of life. Put crooked speech away from you, and keep devious talk far away from you. Your eyes should look straight ahead. Yes, fix your gaze straight ahead of you. Smooth out the course of your feet. In all your ways will be sure. Do not incline to the right or the left. Turn your feet away from what is bad. Number 5. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my discernment, so that you may guard your thinking abilities and safeguard knowledge with your lips. For the lips of a wayward woman drip like honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is as bitter as warm wood, and as sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet descend into death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the path of life. Her course wanders, but she does not know where. Now, my sons, listen to me and do not turn away from what I am saying. Stay far away from her. Do not go near the entrance of her house, so that you may not give your dignity to others, nor reap years of what is cruel, so that strangers may not drain your resources, and what you labored for go to the house, and what you labored for go to the house of the foreigner. Otherwise you will groan at the end of your life, when your flesh and body waste away, and you say, how I hated discipline, how my heart despised reproof. I did not listen to the voice of my instructors, or pay attention to my teachers. I have come to the brink of complete ruin in the midst of the entire congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, and flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed outside your streams of water in the public squares, let them be for you alone and not for the strangers with you. May your own fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice with the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful mountain goat. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. May you be captivated by her love constantly. So why, my son, should you be captivated by a wayward woman, or embrace the bosom of an immoral woman? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Jehovah. He examines all his paths. The wicked one is ensnared by his own errors, and he will be caught in the ropes of his own sin. He will die for lack of discipline, and go astray because of his excessive foolishness. Number 6. My son, if you have put security for your neighbor, if you have given your handshake to a stranger, if you have been ensnared by your promise, caught by the words of your mouth, my son, and free yourself. For you have fallen into the hand of your neighbor. Go and humble yourself and urgently plead with your neighbor. Do not allow your eyes to sleep, nor your eyelids to slumber. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hunter's hand, like a bird from the hand of the bird catcher. Go to the ant, you lazy one. Observe its ways and become wise. Although it has no commander, officer, or ruler, it prepares its food in the summer, and it gathers its food supplies in the harvest. How long, you lazy one, will you lie there? When will you rise up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumbering, a little folding of the hands to rest, and your poverty will come like a bandit, and your want like an armed man. A useless and wicked man walks about with crooked speech. He winks with his eye, signals with his foot, and motions with his fingers. With a perverted heart, he is always scheming evil and spreading contentions. Therefore his disaster will come suddenly. In a moment he will be broken beyond healing. There are 6 things that Jehovah hates, yes, 7 things that he detests: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, a hand that shed innocent blood, a heart plotting wicked schemes, and feet that run quickly to evil, a false witness who lies with every breath, and anyone sowing contentions among brothers. Observe, my son, the commandment of your father, and do not forsake the instruction of your mother. Always bind them around your heart, tie them about your neck. When you walk about, it will lead you. When you lie down, it will stand guard over you. And when you awaken, it will speak to you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the lamp is a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way to life. They will guard you against the bad woman, against the seductive tongue of the immoral woman. Do not desire her beauty in your heart, or allow her to captivate you with her alluring eyes. Okay. For because of a prostitute, a man is reduced to a loaf of bread, but the wife of another man preys on a precious life. Can a man break fire to his chest and not burn his garments? Or can a man walk on hot coals without scorching his feet? It is the same with anyone having relations with his neighbor's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he is hungry. Yet when found, he will repay 7-fold. He will give up all the valuables of his house. Anyone committing adultery with a woman is lacking good sense. The one who does so brings ruin on himself. He will get only wounds and dishonor, and his disgrace will not be wiped away. For jealousy makes a husband furious. He will show no compassion when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation. He will not be appeased, no matter how large you make the gift. My son, keep my sayings and treasure up my commandments. Number 7, keep my commandments and live. Guard my instruction like the pupil of your eye. Tie them around your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding my relative. To guard you against the wayward woman, against the immoral woman, and her smooth words from the window of my house. Through my lattice I looked down, and as I observed the naive ones, I discerning among the youths a young man lacking good sense. He passed along the street near her corner, and he marched in the direction of her house. In the twilight, in the evening, at the approach of night and darkness. Then I saw a woman meet him, dressed like a prostitute with a cunning heart. She is loud and defiant. She never stays at home. One moment she is outside, next she is in the public squares. She lurks near every corner. She grabs hold of him and gives him a kiss. Where they both face, she says to him, I had to offer communion sacrifices. Today I paid my vows. That is why I came out to meet you, to look for you when I found you. I have spread fine covers upon my bed, colorful linen from Egypt. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us drink our fill of love until the morning. Let us enjoy passionate love together. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a distant journey. He took a bag of money with him, and he will not return until the day of the full moon. She misleads him with great persuasiveness. She seduces him with smooth speech. Suddenly, he goes after her like a bull to the slaughter, like a fool to be punished in the stocks, until an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird rushing into the trap. He does not know what it will cost him. He does not know that it will cost him his life. And now, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to the words I speak. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray onto her paths, for she has caused many to fall down slain, and those she has killed are numerous. Her house leads to the